Welcome back, fellow mappers. In the previous tutorial, we set up NetRadiant Custom with Real RTCW version 4, so that we have the tools we need for creating awesome custom maps. If you haven't watched that video yet, make sure to check it out, as it lays the foundation for what we're about to dive into in today's video. We'll be taking the skills you've acquired and put them into action. I'll guide you through the process of creating your very own custom map from scratch, starting with the basics. So whether you're joining me for the first time or continuing your mapping journey, let's get started on our creative adventure in Return to Castle Wolfenstein Mapping. Select the texture Cork. Then in the 2D window on the left, just click and drag to create a brush. Now there are two ways forward. You can do the quick and dirty way by clicking the Room button, or you can create the walls and the floors from scratch. I'll show you both ways. The quick way is just to create one giant rectangle or cube, and then in the top menu, click the Room button. Right-click in the 3D camera view window, and use the traditional ASD and W keys or your arrow keys on your keyboard to fly around in the map. And fly into the room just to take a look. The second way to do it is to manually create the floor, the wall, and the roof and everything by hand. I'll show you how I do it. Use Ctrl and the Tab key to change the perspective. If you want to change the size of a brush, first select it and then click outside of it and drag. Ctrl-C to copy and Ctrl-V to paste. Please note that the copy is always placed on top of the original, so you need to click and drag the copy. And there we have it, a nice first room. There are multiple ways to apply textures. One way is first to select the surface. Press the Ctrl key on your keyboard and mouse click to select surfaces. I'm going to go to XLab in the texture list. And click the triangle. Double-click on XLab Wall. And then I just test a couple of textures until I'm pleased. You can always change this later. And then press the Escape key on your keyboard to deselect the surface. Now select the surface of the roof by using the Control button and the left mouse button. Go to Skies and select Sky Escape 1. Another way to apply textures is to first select the texture. Select the texture, then press Ctrl and the middle mouse button to apply the texture. In the 2D window, right-click and select Info Player Start. Make sure the entity doesn't get stuck. Time for a quiz. What should I press on my keyboard to change the perspective in the 2D window? Ctrl and Tab. Click and drag it to a corner. This is where the player will spawn. Make a box. open the Props texture folder and select box underscore M05A. Press S on your keyboard to open the Surface Inspector window. Click the Fit button to adjust the textures to the box surfaces. You can select the box and click outside of it and drag. Make sure the texture looks okay. Select the box and in the top menu, click on Brush and drag down to Make Detail. The walls, the roof, and the floor, they stay the same. They are called structural brushes. By default, every new brush that you create is structural. Structural brushes shape the main parts of the map, while detailed brushes such as boxes, tables, stairs make it look better. I'll talk more about compiling the map soon. Basically, the compiler handles these different brushes in a special way to make the game run as smoothly as possible. In the 2D window, right-click and place Weapon Thompson. And Ammo 45 caliber. I'm gonna make the room larger. And to select an object, I just click on it. In the 2D window, if you right-click, you can move around and pan left, right, up and down. I use my mouse wheel to zoom in and out. It's possible to select multiple objects if you press the Shift key and mouse click. Then right-click and place an AI soldier. Press N on your keyboard to open the Entities window. Enter the key AI name and the value Soldier1. Press Enter on your keyboard to execute. Next, enter the key Script name and the value Soldier1. Then enter the key Target name and the value Soldier1. Press Enter to execute and close this window. You're still with me? Well, next, right-click and place an AI marker. Press N on your keyboard to open the Entities window. Enter the key Script name and the value Marker1. Then enter the key Target name and the value Market1. Press Enter to execute and close this window. Copy and paste this marker and move it. Press N and change the script name and target name values to marker 2. open a text editor and create this script. And as you can see, it's kind of a loop. The entity walks to marker 1, to marker 2, and then the script triggers itself again. I want you to save this script file into the maps folder that we created earlier. You know, the one inside the Windows user folder and the folder named Documents. Save this document with your maps name inside your maps folder. In this example, it's Genesis. And then change the file type from .txt to .ai. I want to get technical for a moment. The level editor creates and uses the map file. We all know that. But the game engine needs a compiled version. It needs a so-called BSP file. So we need to build it. In the level editor, save your map. And then go to the top menu and click Build. Drag down and select one of the options, Final. Congratulations, you've successfully compiled your map and created the BSP file that the game engine needs to run your map. However, we still need to create 2 bot files so that the enemy AI can navigate and move around in your map. Next, go to this folder, SDK Mapping BSPC RTCW Custom, and locate the BSPC UI executable. Double-click to launch it. A window will probably open and you need to accept and install NetCore. And once that's done, you just launch your BSPC UI executable. Click the button BSP2 AAS and select your BSP file. In other words, set the BSP2 AAS location to the path of your BSP file, which is in your Maps folder. Click the button Output and set the output location to the path that contains your BSP, which again is simply your Maps folder. Select the 2 boxes at CFG1 and CFG2. Click CFG1 and go to this folder, SDK Mapping BSPC RTCW Custom, and select the file AAS CFG_LG.c. And then CFG2 and select AAS CFG_SM.c. Set threads to 4. Select the options Optimize and Force Sides Visible. Next, you must put quotation marks here. Finally, I want you to double check to make sure that there's a space between the W and the digit 4. Especially the next time you use this software. Sometimes this space is deleted and we don't want that. Click Run. Close this BSPC UI window. And then go inside your Maps folder. You will see 2 AAS files. and they are necessary for the NPCs or bots to navigate and move around in your map. Start Real RTCV. Bring down the console with the Shift key and the Escape key on your keyboard. Type /spdevmap Genesis or whatever your map is called. Press the Enter key on your keyboard to launch your map. Click Start and enjoy. Oh. The sky is nice, but the map is too dark. So let's press the Shift key and the Escape key to bring down the console and type Quit. And press Enter to execute. Back to the level editor. As I said earlier, if you right-click in the 2D window, you can move the map. Next, I want you to right-click again, but this time we're gonna place a light. Copy this light and paste it. And click on the copy and drag it. Before we end this video, I want to show you a second way to copy things using the spacebar. Select an object. In this example, it's a light entity. Then just press the spacebar on your keyboard. The benefit of using this second method is that the copy is nudged. It's not placed directly on top of the original. So use whatever method to copy and paste that works the best for you. And save the map. And in the top menu, click Build and Compile. Let's recreate the AAS files. Please make sure that there's a space between the letter W and the digit 4. I don't know why, but sometimes the bot files are not created properly. Sometimes you need to rerun the BSP UI executable a couple of times until you have 2 new AAS bot files. It's time to launch the game again. Press Shift and Escape to open the console and type spdevmap and your map's name. Press Enter to execute. Click the Start button. Let's hope the map is bright enough this time. Let's bring down the console and type No Target. The enemy soldier will not target me anymore, which makes me virtually invisible. We can confirm that the script is actually working. The enemy soldier is indeed going between marker 1 and marker 2. It's time to end this. And that's a wrap for this tutorial. You've taken your first steps into the world of RTCW mapping by creating your own custom map from scratch. Congratulations! Whether you're a newcomer or a seasoned mapper, remember that practice makes perfect. Put in some effort and practice. Experiment with textures, entities, and scripts to bring your unique ideas to life in the world of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. In upcoming videos, we'll explore more techniques to elevate your mapping skills, so stay tuned for more exciting content. If you found this tutorial helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it. Your support motivates me to create more educational content. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. Feedback is valued. Thanks for joining today, and best of luck with your future mapping endeavors. Happy mapping, and I'll see you in the next one.